In the Army hospitals in Japan, the seriously ill or wounded soldier obtains expert care and all the comforts of a modern civilian hospital. However, he is not allowed to remain here unless he is expected to return to duty in a few weeks. He is moved by ambulance to Haneda Air Force Base near Tokyo for the long airlift home. Haneda Air Force Base is the terminal in Japan of the Pacific Air Shuttle, operated by the Air Force's Military Air Transport Service. These big planes can carry as many as 80-liter patients at a time. The planes usually stop in Hawaii to break the strain of the journey for the wounded men. After an overnight rest and medical attention at Tripler Army Hospital, they are again on their way. After a flight of over 8,000 miles across the Pacific, they reach Travis Air Force Base near San Francisco. Here, they are moved temporarily to the Army Disembarkation Hospital for a rest and the necessary medical attention. As soon as the patient has recovered from the strain of the trip, he is evacuated to that Army hospital in the United States, which is considered best suited to give him the treatment he needs. Within 2 weeks of the day he was hit on the battlefield, the wounded man may arrive at one of the general hospitals in the U.S., such as Walter Reed General Hospital, largest and most complex of the many hospitals maintained by the Army Medical Service.
We've shown you how the Army medics take care of our wounded. And now we'd like you to meet an Army medical officer, Lieutenant Colonel S.J. Newsome of San Diego, California, who is a division surgeon with the 7th Division in Korea. Well, Colonel Newsome, just what is the most important thing in keeping this wounded man alive?
I think that speed is the most important thing. Anything we can do that reduces the time between the time that the wounded man is cared for by the company aid man and the time that the surgeon takes care of him is important. The first few hours mean the difference between that man's recovery and his failure to recovery.
Mm-hmm.
The helicopter has been of immense value to us for the seriously wounded cases and their transportation. But perhaps most important is the fact that we brought the trained surgeon, his equipment, the blood, and the antibiotics up farther forward.
Well, now, when an outfit goes into an attack, can the medics make any plans in advance as to treatment and evacuation of their wounded?
We always make plans, and then we make alternate plans. But the most important thing there is that we leave our organization flexible so that we can fit it to meet the exact situation that develops.
Well, now, a moment ago, you spoke about bringing the surgeons closer to the front line. Well, once we have them there, what sort of facilities do they have?
They really lack nothing that is essential to the proper care of the patient. The man is the important thing. And if you have the man plus enough equipment to do the job, you can do as fine a job in a tent in Korea as you can in an approved hospital in the States.
Well, that's very good to know, Colonel. Well, looking back on your experiences in Korea, what were the major handicaps in caring for this man?
Well, we had a lot of handicaps. First of all, we had mountains, high mountains, and miserable roads. And then we had hot, humid summers and miserable cold winters. We had mud in between. Occasionally, medics had to fight the enemy in their self-defense and in the defense of their patients. But from a medical standpoint, perhaps the most important thing was disease, because Korea is a disease-ridden country.
Well, what diseases were there, Colonel?
Well, we just had everything. We had everything that's in the book. We had the same pneumonias that we have at home. We have smallpox as a much more virulent and deadly disease in the Orient. And lastly, we had a whole group of Oriental diseases that most of our people had never seen before. These were important because they affected not only the frontline man, but every soldier in Korea, and not only the soldiers, but the civilians.
Mm-hmm. Well, what did you do about this disease?
Well, in the first place, we had a very complete immunization system. And then we had a preventive medicine program that served to provide environmental control and so reduce the contacts. So that the net result of it was that we had much more of a potential situation than we had what would have been a medical disaster.
We've been talking, Colonel, about taking care of the soldier in Korea. What about the soldier in other parts of the world?
Well, wherever American soldiers are stationed, we carry the high quality American medical service with them. The basic things are always there, but the special equipment and special things are done by hand tailoring them to fit exactly the situation that we're up against, no matter what part of the world we're serving in.
Well, thank you, Colonel Newsome. And that's what we'd like to show right now on the big picture, how the Army medics continually keep prepared to serve the soldier no matter where he is stationed.
Wherever the American soldier serves today, wherever he may have to fight for our American way of life, now or in the uncertain future, under whatever conditions he may have to fight, the Army Medical Service is alert to his welfare. The American soldier may have to face the hazards of battle in an Arctic or subarctic climate, where speedy evacuation of the wounded is an absolute necessity, where loss of body heat can be as deadly as loss of blood. He may have to fight again in the prostrating heat of fever-ridden tropical jungles. He may have to serve in some of the Earth's great subtropical cities, where epidemics take a heavy toll of human lives year after year.